Okay, this is the case I use for everything from my primary luggage to performance. You can see the casters on here. The casters are easy to remove and replace the bearings. You just go in the side here and pop this little C clamp off. That pushes that out, and that makes it easy to replace the bearings on these wheels. Now this is a roller bleeder wheel, and you can tell it's flattened out considerably, so I need to replace them. But I've replaced the bearings on this, I don't know how many, 4 or 5 times, maybe a little more often than once a year. Now the case internal dimensions, it gives me, I think, about 11 inches, maybe a foot inside. With that, I'm able to put my primary performance bag, my amplifier, odd and sundry items in here, a water bottle, and my stool, as well as the receiver and transmitter microphone. So it's a good size, and yet it can still get me up in the air quite a bit while I'm performing. And I love it because I can stand on this thing all day long. It's just as solid as can be. So that's the case. Oh, I did want to point out, you'll notice here on rough cobblestones and such, my amplifier is padded. This is just a foam mattress, camping mattress thing that I cut to fit so that it doesn't vibrate near as bad. I'll go into maybe the particulars on the amp and everything else later on, as well as the stool. Okay, I did want to point out one additional item. These pins that go through this hinge. This is a design, well, it's not a design flaw, but Pelican has a problem with these pins. They have a tendency, when you're going over lots of cobblestone, to vibrate out. There is a solution. That's just to lift this up and use a quarter or something, a coin, and just push it back into place while this is being held up. That way it won't fall out and lose them, because they do have a tendency to work their way out, and that goes for every clamp on the case. The pins are notorious for working their way. Right, so this is the empty Pelican case. You can see I gotta pack it up. I'm gonna load this, is my Stuffed in Things amplifier. This is just the stuffed part. It'll go there where I had said the padding will protect it from undue vibration. This is my magic bag. It goes in right alongside the amplifier. If you don't have, I just made myself up a new sign. I used it last couple of times I went out, and it's worked out pretty well. I did add something this time at the behest of Warpo. Warpo recommended that I get a Venmo account, so I went ahead and had this printed up at the end of the show. I just slapped this on there. This has made me a good deal of money off of from millennials, because they never carry any cash. This sign is attached to my bag. This is an old Duluth tool bag. They don't make them anymore. I got to get a new one, different design tool bag. Anyway, this velcros to my bag there, and at the end my Venmo sign goes on it. In this part, I keep odds and ends in my Miser's Dream bucket here. One of these days I'll start doing that again. And then in this portion goes my water bottle and my walk stool. This is the stool that telescopes, has telescoping legs. It's made in Sweden, as you can see from the Swiss flag there, or Swedish flag. Walkstool.com is their site. It's a great stool. I've never had any problems with it. I do have to periodically replace these feet, as they tend to like cane tips, they'll wear through, but that goes there. And then I have extra space if I want to throw a coat, usually a coat, an umbrella in there as well. Now, as far as my carry-on, when I go abroad, this is the bag originally that I got to replace this Duluth. However, it's not quite the design I want. I am looking for a new bag now. This is a saddleback leather. Let's see if we can get that in there. Yeah, saddleback leather bag. I love it. It's made like a tank. This is their medium briefcase. It has a back pocket here, 3 buckle straps. You can rig this up to where it is also a backpack design. You've got two shoulder pads here so that you can ring it up through this here. Stainless steel. All of this is all these fittings on here are stainless steel. I have a trick for keeping these things from coming unscrewed. These continually came unscrewed. I also have a trick for a lot of people that buy these saddleback bags complain that they fall over on the front. They just roll over and fall down. Well, that's not because I'm careful about how I have used this in the past. It doesn't have a tendency to do that at all. But the make on this is, the craftsmanship on this is just incredible. It's lined with pigskin. It's really thick, well tanned leather. As you can see, the pigskin goes all the way through. This is all huge pieces of leather, so it's not done patchwork style. They keep the pieces of leather to a minimum, so you have all the strength of a well tanned hide. And then my sundry items down there. So I've used this for about, I don't know, off and on for maybe 10 years, maybe a little less than that, and I think it's just a beautiful bag. But if anybody wants to buy it, I need to get a different one anyway. So that's the majority of what I use on a daily basis, and I'll be packing this for the flight soon.